So we would actually want to move it in, is what I was getting at, the cheek joint. We would want to move it in so it's more centered in the mouth. That way when we scale that joint up, its origin is buried deep within the head, deeper in the face, so we don't get just a little bubble. Like if we bury it deeper in the face, then it will blow out more of the cheek in the trajectory that's from the center of the head than it would be if like we put it on the surface. Okay. Now, if I remember right, there's a joint, this little muscle right here, this little light blue muscle. I believe that's called, they're just calling it the procerus. I was thinking that was called the corrugator, but I can't remember for sure. But anyway, this joint, this little muscle deserves its own joint. Okay? And so, because what this one does, this bigger muscle, this bigger blue muscle, the frontalis, it moves up and down. You can see that in the sinew of the muscle the artist drew here. That was nice of him to do that. But this one, it actually will pull the skin in to the center, and that's kind of how you do the furrow. That's what you would use to do the furrow of your brow. Okay? And sometimes you do that without moving your brow. And so you wouldn't want to have to go into the brow controls to activate that. Okay, but it would be pretty much at the same location as the inside of this. It actually kind of pulls this whole muscle over, but okay. Now we need a way, and this will be difficult. Let's see, I'll have to do a little drawing. I'm going to erase all that. Okay, so the lip is here. A character needs to be able to, like, if they buzz their lips, then their lip will come out here, right? And it'll kind of be like that if we were to, like, take a section view of it. It could get even more extreme than that. So it could do that. So what we need attached to this jaw joint, so we have we'll redraw these jaw ones real quick. We need a way to make the lip do that. And it turns out that the center of your lip is the only part of your center of the bottom lip is the only part that can even do that. Because you have a muscle right in the front of your chin, this little muscle right here, the mentalis, that can pull that lip straight down. And you notice you don't have one of those on the top. It also kind of pulls out to the side a little bit, but we can take care of all that in a single joint. Okay, so our jaw moves down, and the lip can move with it. Okay, and then what we have is we need to be able to move the whole front set of the teeth out, and so we have. So we'd have a joint, say here, so about right there at the bottom of the lip. Okay, and then that will rotate the entire bottom front of the chin out. Okay, well the bottom of the chin, it could rotate the whole chin out. And then we would have another joint that comes back down here that can rotate. So this is our hierarchy, like that. So in this joint here, we can rotate it to grab just the lip itself and rotate it down, and not the entire chin. Okay. Now, didn't mean to do that, but that's kind of the overview of the joints and where they belong on a facial rig. Now we'll get into how to place those and that sort of stuff. We'd also want, well, actually we would want a joint here at the left of the nostril so that we can do our sneers as well and represent these muscles here. Okay, so just about anywhere there's a muscle, we want to represent it. That's the point. And there's a lot of muscles in the head, so it's going to take a lot of joints. Okay.